When there's more than one of something, you're supposed to pluralize. Free cookies to anyone who got that reference. Hallo Leute, ich bin Katja und ihr seht Deutsch für euch. Another very important thing in any language is to learn how to pluralize. Okay, so firstly, the easy part. Remember the episode about our 3 articles? I only talked about the 3 singular articles in that one. Why? Well, bringing up plurals would have asked for even more explanation, and I didn't want to risk getting sidetracked in that episode. You may have noticed from our random words of the week that I always put 2 versions down here, and hopefully you've also figured out the second word is always the plural version and that it's always accompanied by the article die. So what are you saying? Plural is always female? Well, no. This is just a fact you'll have to get used to. Our article for pluralizing in the nominative state is always die, regardless of the gender. So no matter if you have der Hund, die Katze, or das Pferd, when pluralizing, they all are accompanied by die, so it would be die Hunde, die Katzen, and die Pferde. Unfortunately, pluralizing the nouns themselves is a bit more complicated in German. I know, what a surprise, right? To keep confusion to a minimum, I've made a chart. Full screen now, please. Okay, so let's get this started. As you can see, I've divided this into our 3 genders, weiblich, männlich, and neutral, and also into 2 sections, singular and plural. So the way this is going to work is I'm going to put a set of ending syllables in the left column, so the singular side, and I'm then going to put the corresponding plural ending on the right-hand side and explain how that whole thing comes into being. I've colored the singular endings according to what gender they occur with, and I've put them on boxes that are colored according to the gender that the plural rule that I'm going to explain applies to. Okay, let's start off with this one. It applies to words ending in nis and in. Nis is always neutral and in is always female. So when you put these words into plural, what happens is that they double their consonants. So they're ending consonants. So for example, in the neutral word Ereignis, which means happening or event, what would happen would be that the ending S doubles, and the plural version of Ereignis therefore is Ereignisse. The same happens with the female word Lehrerin, which means teacher, a female teacher. So we double the ending N and we get Lehrerinnen. So this is fairly simple. This applies to all words ending in nis and in. This next ending occurs with all kinds of ending consonants and with all 3 genders. Nevertheless, it occurs more often with male and neutral words than it does with female ones. Actually, so much more often that you can say that most male and neutral words fall into this category. And for pluralizing this group, you just add an e at the end. And in all female words in this category, this always results in the first a, o, or u in the word to change to the corresponding umlaut. So an a changes to e, an o changes to ö, and an u changes to ü. So the example I picked here is Kuh, which means cow, and when pluralizing this changes to Kühe, so the u changed to an ü. And the same thing often happens with male words, but it's not universal in male words, and it never happens with the neutral words in this category. All vowels stay the same in neutral words belonging with this group. So the male examples I picked for this one are der Ball, which means the ball, and when changed to plural, it becomes die Bälle, so you can see that the a got changed to an ä. The second example is Stift, which means pen, and that gets changed to Stifte, and of course there's no vowel shift here because there is no corresponding umlaut for e. The next group can be summarized rather quickly. It contains all nouns ending in the vowels a, I, o, and u, as well as all acronyms and words that were adopted from English. So these are pluralized the same way as in English. You just add an S at the end and you're done. Another group that contains nouns ending in different consonants, and also, actually most importantly, all words ending with an E, is pluralized by adding N, so en, to words ending in consonants, and just an N to words ending with an E. A, O, and U almost never change to umlauts in this group, and gender-wise, most female nouns, a lot of foreign words, a few neutral words, and also a special group of male words called the endeklension go in this category. This next group contains most neutral and some male nouns. They end in different consonants and they are pluralized by just adding er at the end. A, U, and U often change to their corresponding umlauts, but there are exceptions. My examples here were das Buch, the book, which changes to die Bücher, so there is an umlaut change here, just as in der Mann, the man, which changes to die Männer. Once again, just in case you didn't notice, the er, when spoken, kind of sounds more like an a than an actual er. So it's not er, but kind of more like Männer, not Männer, Männer. Our last group here also only contains male and neutral words, namely the ones ending in er, en, el, chen, and lein. When pluralizing, neutral words in this group don't change at all, except of course for being combined with the plural articles. And male words don't change their endings either, but a, o, and u are often turned into their umlaut counterparts. As for example with der Garten, which means the garden, changing to die Gärten. Now I said last group. This means the last group of the words that are of German origin, also including English words. There are some more rules for certain foreign words, but we'll leave those aside for now because there are not enough of those to confuse you even more. At least that, those were my thoughts on that. So I'm going to leave you with this. I know that was a ton of information all at once. Of course, it's entirely up to you whether or not you internalize this. You can also just ditch the chart and just learn along the plural version of every word along with the word itself. That's the smart thing to do either way, but I thought for the people out there who like to know why a language works the way it does, this would be useful information. Also, through repetition, these rules will make it easier for you to remember the plural versions instead of learning them along with every single word you learn. And that is it for today. Share and subscribe if you like what you see. And if you have any questions or other comments, let me know. Your random word of the week is Schildkröte. That word is used for both tortoise and turtle. Also, the name of this animal literally means shield toad. The more you know. Bis nächste Woche. Tschüss!